Hey, what's up, guys? So I just got back from watching Masters of the Universe, and I got some thoughts about it, man. First, let me start off with the positives. I thought that the costumes were fantastic. I thought the whole look of Eternia looked great. I thought the fighting scenes between Man at Arms and Trapjaw was awesome. That was a really cool fight scene, and even the fight scene between He-Man and Skeletor was pretty sweet. Skeletor looked sweet, by the way, and I think Skeletor to me stole the movie. He has some really cool scenes and everything like that. I think he stole the movie. So now that I got the positives out of the way, I felt like this movie was very messy. The story was very, very messy. This wasn't the 80s version that I grew up with. I think that this was more adapted by the version of the newer He-Man that came out within the last few years and stuff like that I have not seen. But I felt like Prince Adam's character, you know, obviously he is this weakling and then he becomes He-Man. When that transition happens, he's the same person. He just has different clothing on. He just felt like a goober to me. He reminded me of this show that I used to watch back in the day called The Greatest American Hero. When he put on the suit, he just didn't know how to use his powers, but he was corny. And I felt with He-Man. He-Man was just corny to me. He just didn't change. It was just like, all right, cool. Let me see. Let me lift up the sword by the power of Grayskull. He just changed clothes, and that was the end of it. I felt like he was super corny. I really didn't care for it, and there was a lot of jokes in there. Now, some of the jokes did hit, but all the other ones did not, man. And they just they dragged, and it was super cringe, man. There was some moments in there I was like, come on, man, we get it. Like, let's move on. And it just dragged. Even there's this one moment, there's a scene where Skeletor is just laughing hysterically, and all of a sudden everyone's just looking at him. It just felt so odd and weird. I just felt like this felt like more of a spoof on He-Man as opposed to just a He-Man movie. I took it as a spoof. So for me, the story was really messy. I didn't really care for any of the characters. I thought it was cool to see some on the big screen, but I didn't really care for any of the characters, none of that. And not only that, even when there was some moments where it should have been like some tender moments, they mess it up with comedy, and it's like, dude, this is just too much, man. Like, bring it back a little bit. And also, too, when Prince Adam escapes to Earth at the beginning of the film when he's being attacked by the bad guys and all that, he goes to Earth with the sword, and now he's there until they later on find him. He actually names the characters. So the characters in the movie aren't named normally. Like Trapjaw was not Trapjaw. He became Trapjaw because Prince Adam named him that when he was on Earth, when he was trying to basically draw things to keep his memory